Welcome to the ThunderCast, your martial athletics podcast produced by the fans, for the fans, with your hosts, Russ Livingood and Jed Horton. We're bringing you the thundering word on the thundering herd each and every week, so keep it right here, because the ThunderCast is on the loose. Thank you for downloading another episode of the ThunderCast. I'm here with Jed Horton. Jed, it seems like we have been extremely busy since the start of this fifth season. This is episode 16, and we're halfway through, not even halfway through, August. And we got more coming.
And even more. Yeah, you and I were talking just the other day about just all the different projects and different things that are going on on the ThunderCast side. And it's because of, you've got football season starting up, you've got soccer season starting up for the men's and the women's, you've got all, so now it's that time of year where everything's now getting ready to go full steam. I've already had a couple of soccer matches. We're going to talk about that later on and around the herd, but man, it's here. It's arrived.
Yeah. We've got a full slate here today of, our usual 5 things every herd fan needs to know this week, and our Around the Herd. We'll have a lot for all that. But first, I want to tell everybody, please like and subscribe however you're viewing or listening to this right now. If it's on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If it's over on Spotify, Apple, any of those for your favorite audio streaming, make sure you like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Find us on social media. Like and subscribe, follow along on that as well. Jed, we're going to get a quick word from our sponsors at Leasure Oliver PLLC, and then we're going to be back with a very, very busy episode. If you've been hurt in a wreck, call the law firm of Leasure Oliver PLLC. Found them at 304carwreck.com. All right, Jed, we talk all the time and say it's a short week, or it's 7 days, or, football season hasn't started yet. How can we possibly come up with 5 things every herd fan needs to know this week? Well, we did, and we came up again, back-to-back weeks, with 8. And we're going to have your company, Ignite.link, present that to us right now. And now, here are at least 5 things every herd fan needs to know this week. As always, brought to you by Ignite.link, the Tri-State's premier IT management team. All right, number 1, I'm going to combine men's and women's basketball. The conference slate for the Sun Belt has been released for both round ball squads. I'm going to start with the men first. Run down the home is, let's see, Georgia State on December the 31st will be our first home conference game. And then our first away conference game is Troy on 12/20. If you want to look at this the way KD already put it up on Twitter, we have yet another late season 4-game road trip. Not ideal. We do end at home on February 24th and 27th. We'll have our final 2 games. But before that, man, we are on the road. January 28th, 31st, February the 11th, 14th, 19th, and 21st. So not ideal, but I don't think that everybody in the conference gets to do a home, then away, then a home, then away. So sometimes you're going to have these, and we do have a stretch where we are going to be playing, back-to-back weeks at home. It just late in the season, we've got those back-to-back away trips. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, that always seems to make it tough. It's always tough. It's whenever you have a road stretch anyway. That later towards the season, generally, if we're making some good headway, or maybe like last year where we kind of dropped, a few in the beginning, and had to kind of get into a rhythm and a groove. That makes it really tough because those end up becoming really must-win games. I mean, they're all must-win games, obviously, but they become must-win games, but on the road, which of course is always tough, especially when you get to that third and fourth game. So, but I haven't looked at anybody else's schedules. I don't know if they're out for. Well, I guess they would be out for everybody.
Yeah, it's out for everybody.
But I assume we're probably not the only team with that kind of struggle.
No, and you pretty much have to do that. I mean, I'm sure they could work it out to where no one had back-to-back road trips and things like that. But, it's just one of those things that happens. Looking here at the women, our first home conference game will be December 17th, and that is welcoming Appalachian State. Our first away conference game is January the 1st, so we won't have an away conference game in December. The men's schedule definitely is going to have, and it's not on here because this is conference only, but there is a date there open, and it's going to be the second game of that Sunbelt MAC challenge that we talked about, a couple of months back now. So that is a team that we will be matched up as closely as they can with net rankings and that sort of thing. But the schedules are out. You can look at them. The graphics are out on social media. You can go over to Herd Zone. They've got articles showing it. Sunbelt put these out, and you can check these schedules out. Just know that it's probably 2 to 3 more weeks before you're going to see the finalized schedule that will have all the out of conference and everything. And then you can start planning your road trips and your watch parties and all that sort of thing. Number 2. Big news. We talked last week. Men's soccer was number 2 overall in the preseason by United Coaches Soccer, but College Soccer News has Marshall ranked number 1 in the country. Very, very big that those two those two entities or whatever have one being media, one being coaches, have the Herd in the top 2. Now, they had Vermont flip-flopped with Marshall in this one, but looks like favorites to repeat for the top 2 squads to come back there. That's the way everybody sees it right now in the preseason. So I had a chance to talk to Coach Grassi about that, and I don't want to spoil that here. It's a very short interview, so it's already been published. You can go out, watch, or listen to that and hear what he has to say basically about being that target, that the expectations for him and his squad to make it that far. What do you think about it, Jed?
Yeah, it's always hard to tell. Preseason anything, it's always difficult to tell because the games haven't been played yet. Are these players going to mesh? We definitely lost some players due to the portal or graduation, those kind of things. So it's always hard to tell. And then these other teams, it's the same. They're dealing with the same situation that we are. So it's always tough to tell. But it's we're where we want to be, especially we're in the last 5 years, 6 years, especially we want to be in that conversation. Being in that top 10, top 25 is where you want to ride, and then win games. If you can win games, then you're going to keep your rankings, and that's going to only help you going into your conference tournaments and then into the NCAA tournament. So, to Russ's point earlier, if you guys haven't had a chance to listen to it, I'd go ahead and pause this, go listen to the Coach Grassi interview. Well worth the listen. Really good insight there from him talking about some of these things. But I like that. A couple of these outlets are bullish on the Herd. I'm bullish on the Herd. I'm excited to see how the season plays out.
Yeah, we're going to keep it with men's soccer, and this just came out this morning, earlier today, maybe this afternoon. But men's soccer is the preseason number 1 in the Sunbelt Conference coaches preseason poll. Takahiro Fujita, currently rehabbing right now, but he has been tabbed as the preseason defensive player of the year. But He was the lone representative of the first team preseason. So preseason all SBC, Marshall number one overall only has one on the first team. WVU has 3, South Carolina has 3, and Kentucky has 3 of the 11. They have 9 of the 11. The number one squad has 1 of the 11. One more thing before I get your reaction to that. One of those players from South Carolina was transfer from Marshall, Alexander Sterngard. So he's now down at South Carolina, and he is on the first team preseason all SBC. Jed, knee-jerk reaction to 9 of the 11 being from South Carolina, WVU. WVU, by the way, was number 2 in this ranking, and Kentucky. And then Marshall ranked number 1, 8 of the 10 votes, 1 second place, 1 third place vote. They only have 1. What do you think?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think that what they're looking at is, we've got some transfers that have come in. Now we've got players that have been here that I think could be pushing for that spot. It must be they must be looking at these transfers in, not having history with the herd and being first years here, that they're not looking to try to give them that distinction. But that's interesting to me. It's very odd that you would give us, first and outside. For whole SBC, we're first, but we're only, bringing 1 player on that first team. That's usually that's not how that plays.
So what I've noticed, sport to sport in all these preseason things happened in football, basketball, baseball, now in soccer. Softball too. People that were not in the conference last year seem to not make these preseason teams, as it were. If they do, it's very few and far between, or they come with a, hey, this is a can't miss prospect kind of tag or something like that. But they generally do not make the first team rosters, for these preseason teams. So that's number 1. Number 2 is, I don't think that they are slighting the Marshall players in as much as they're saying, well, does it really matter who is going to do what? We know Marshall is going to be Marshall because of the system that's in place that Coach Grassi has put there. It might not be we have that one dominant player, or they might say, heck, they have so many that could be. We don't know who's going to be that dominant player to put in here. They know Fujita because, his career here speaks for itself on defense and all that. But these other incoming transfers, they're like, man, it could be this guy, it could be that guy, it could be this guy. This guy's returning, he's going to step up. Coach Grassi just mentioned that. And when I talked to him, this might be a situation where they're like, we don't know who it is yet, but doesn't matter who it is, Marshall's going to be number 1 because they're Marshall.
Well, and if we compete and go to the Sun Belt Championship, win the Sun Belt Championship, they'll be naming several first teamers, from there. So just more fuel to the fire to just go, let's go win games and see what happens.
Yeah, we always say that, right? Like, wait until the season's over and let's compare it and see how well they got it versus rankings and individual players. And I think when all the smoke is cleared, we're going to see that Marshall was right back there where they thought, preseason number 1, but we're going to see more players getting their flowers than just Fujita. Number 4, keeping it with soccer, women's soccer on that side placed 10th in the Sunbelt Conference coaches preseason poll and had 0 players on the first team, 0 players for any individual award for the preseason. Thoughts on that?
Maybe I'm wrong here, but I'm not too bent out of shape about that. Just again, kind of keeping in line with we've had a lot of transfers that aren't, from, in conference, to your point, making those lists. I think 10 is way too low for this team. Having, kind of seen what they've been working towards and who they're bringing in, I think we'll definitely exceed that. I think we're going to get some players, get some awards. But I'm not surprised. Just do kind of just looking at the history and where they've been in the past. But I think we're going to blow that. You and I know, I think that number 10 is too low, but I understand where it's going. I'm not too bent out of shape about it. I think we're going to go out there and prove some things, and this is going to be an upward trend. So I'm not too worried about it, and I think there's going to be some good fuel to the fire for these ladies to go out and prove it wrong.
Yeah, 10th out of 14. Let them underestimate us. KD just sat down with Coach Rafa Samos, and he thinks that we're going to turn that corner and we're going to surprise some people. And they were talking, and I'm assuming several people have already listened to this interview. If not, go listen or watch that one as well. But they were talking about his third year being that one where he would make the statement. And he said, "Why not now? Why not my second year? Why not do it now?" And I expect them to have a significant leap up from last year. And I was shocked that there wasn't one on there. No one maybe in particular. I thought maybe Alexis Wolgamuth at keeper would have been on there, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with everybody underestimating. This is not a situation where if Marshall would have been picked like fourth or third on the men's side, I think you would say, where's this disrespect coming from?
Right.
But right now it's hey, you haven't done anything yet. Show me. We're not talking about returning, a 75% winning percentage from last year or anything like that. So they've got us below average, 10 of 14. Let them underestimate us. It's the coaches that's doing it. It's not the fans. It's not experts. I mean, coaches might be experts, but let them underestimate us. And then when we are beating them this year, let them say, wow, Marshall came out of nowhere. So,
yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah,
I'm ultimately fine with that, just like you are. Number 5, Adrian Norton, wide receiver, has been named to the Biletnikoff Award watch list. We got him from Akron. He was highly regarded, had some great stats there. A lot of people think this is our no-doubter best transfer that we brought in. Way too early to say, but I think no matter what, when you bring in a wide receiver with the stats that he has and he's on the Biletnikoff Award watch list, definitely gets you kind of excited for what we may see from him this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the stats to back it up, and I see, again, it might be, probably running a little bit different system than Akron for sure, but you do know he's going to be, if he's healthy and he's doing those same sort of things that he was doing last year, he's going to be a very likely target, and which means he's going to get a lot of opportunities to score, a lot of opportunities to catch the ball and run after the catch. That's good. Hey, anytime you see a wide receiver, any of our players getting into these watch lists, hey, it gets you excited about the season.
Yeah, the big one that got it for me when we were talking about his stats was 19.3 yards per catch. And it wasn't like he only had 5 of them. He had 43 catches for 7 touchdowns last year. 19.3 every time he caught the ball. So little excited, to say the least, to see what he could do. I'm really looking forward. This offense just keeps, the more I keep thinking about it, and we're getting ready to pump out the very final position group breakdown, talk about the quarterbacks. That's the last one that we have, but it will also complete the offense. And the more that I study this, look at it, I think we're going to have a dynamic offense this year. And there's no dancing around that for me. It just seems obvious now, when we look at the running back room, the offensive line, how we think that it's going to perform. This receiving core just keeps looking better as I look at it, and I'm including the tight ends in there. So I really think this Rod Smith offense is going to be good, and I expect Adrian Norton to put up some stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number 6, the Big Green will be hosting a tailgate at Georgia. So anybody going to the Georgia game and you're looking for something to do, not sure where to go, not sure where to tailgate, the Classic Center, it's about I think it was 1.5 miles away, maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe it was between 1 mile and 1.5 miles. $30 per person. And that gets you, they had a pretty extensive list of food there that they were going to have inside there. It looks like buffet style and all that. And then they will have a cashless bar, not free bar, just cashless. So you don't have to worry about taking a bunch of cash. Credit or debit card will be fine, but $30 per person. You might want to get with the Big Green and let them know you're coming before then. So call them, contact them, fill it out online. But anybody going to the Georgia game, you now have something to do that's a pretty good value, $30.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, if you don't, like you said, if you don't have a spot, yeah, it's for $30, guaranteed spot with food that you can go to and hang out with other herd fans. That's killer deal.
It's a good time too for me and you to tell everybody they should join the Big Green if you haven't already. I mean, $5 a month, and you can get more than that back due to local vendors. I just had to take a vehicle to Tik Tok Tire today. It's 15% off or 10% off, I think, over there. So, yeah, just take advantage of what these vendors around town, these business owners are doing. Join the Big Green and save yourself some money, and help herd athletics as you're doing it. Speaking of similar things, number 7, the Thunder Trust has partnered with FanStake, and fans get a free $10 to use when they sign up. Jed, you can go to the Thunder Trust website. You can find it anywhere on social media. You can go to FanStake, but it'll tell you exactly how to do that and get your $10. You and I were trying to talk this through and figure it out before we were recording here. And the article that we read kind of described it to where, let's say Jed picks out this high school kid, or maybe it's a transfer portal target, and he says, hey, I want to put $100 toward this guy coming to Marshall University and playing for my beloved Thundering Herd. And 8,000 of Jed's closest friends do the same. And we have all this money in here, and he decides to come to Marshall. Then FanStake would take that money and via the fans set up a deal, an NIL deal for that player. So it's a way to entice directly from fans to do that. You can stake any athlete that you want to come here. Here's the caveat. And if they do not come to your school, you get your money back. So real simple. You put this money out, they come here, they get the money. You put this money out, you're pledging this amount, they don't come here, they don't get the money. You get the money back. Yeah, is that kind of how you understood that?
Yeah, that's how I understood it. So actually, I downloaded the app and pulled it up and looked at it, and it looks like, and this would be a good thing for us to maybe research before one of our next podcasts, is because you can also stake the team too. So if you just want to give an amount to Marshall men's basketball, the program, you can do that. And it says here, team stakes are distributed between eligible players on next season's roster, both returning and new. Okay. So I would assume, obviously, once you've given that money, that's not coming back. But if you do that with just an individual player and they go to another school, you get it back. So I'd be curious to have a little more details. Like, is it better to work with like the Thunder Trust directly in that scenario? But FanStake does make it easy. I will say that it's actually pretty nice, because I'm looking through and I can on the app. Let me go back here real quick. But if I go back, I can look at individuals at the on like the basketball team, on the football team, women's so it looks like you have men's basketball, women's basketball, and football currently on fan stakes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be honest. I'll have to do a little bit of a deeper dive, but it's kind of interesting because, like I said, I can see players that were here at one point that have moved on, but then I can see players that are currently here as well. So, and then there's 2 times boost. Interesting.
It kind of sounds like they have decided to combine gambling with NIL. And does that not just sum up college football in 2025?
Yeah, for sure.
I think we're on the same page. It's starting to be a lot. But
Yeah.
hey, if everybody's doing it, we need to be doing it. If we want to compete, we need to be doing it. So if you want to get in this, it's free $10. So get that, send it on, and help Marshall or an individual player or an individual team at Marshall, however you want to do it. It's free $10. Do it. Download it, send it on. Number 8, upcoming events. Herd Rally is this Friday at 7 p.m. on Ninth Street Plaza. That's the pep rally that we do every year in mid-August. Should have a band there playing and different coaches and athletes coming there and talking, and they'll be around signing autographs and mingling with the fans and things like that. It's always a fun time. Take the family down there. Several of the local businesses down there, some watering holes will have some beverages for you that you can take out onto the plaza and things like that. So make sure you get over there Friday at 7 p.m. if you can. Saturday, reverse raffle. That's at Marshall Health Arena, and that's at 5:30 p.m. Vinny Curry will be the key speaker for that event. And I can't tell you how many different people have told me it is their favorite event of the year is the reverse raffle. I think $5,000 is what you can walk out of there with if you're the overall winner. But it's good time. If you can make both of those events, I encourage everybody to do so. Herd Rally is free on the plaza, but you do need to get tickets to the reverse raffle. If you need help with that, you can see us or the quarterback club, or you can call the ticket office. You can call the Big Green office. You can call just about anybody, and they can help you make it to that event.
Yeah, it's that time of year where we're going to be talking about it every week. There's going to be events, whether it's not just football games, soccer games, and volleyball games and things like that, which of course those are going to be on. We're going to talk about those, but there are events like this. Great opportunities. If you've never gone to one of these, now's your time. Let's pick one, especially the Herd Rally. It's free. It's part of 9th Street Live. I think these are great opportunities, and we'll keep communicating these to you as we know about them. And if you've not been one, try it out.
Yeah, there's some other events that we're going to talk. I wanted to save those for next week. I wanted to highlight them week by week, and that's why we've kind of waited on these. But there's some more events that are going to be happening next week that we'll be talking about the next time you and I sit down. Jed, that does it this week for 8 things every Herd fan needs to know this week. And as always, brought to you by ignite.link.
Well, as you always say, Russ, there's always something going on in Marshall athletics. Even during the summer, there's something going on, but now we're in the meat and potatoes of it. So now it's how do you choose? Because now week to week it's going to be 20 things every Herd fan needs to know. So this is when we have to kind of narrow it down. So always something going on. Always excited to get another school year and another athletic season started, and gives us a lot to talk about. Russ, we've got some things. Speaking of, we got some things to talk about and around the herd. So how about you say let's take it around the herd and then get out of here?
Yeah, and as always, Layer 1 Solutions is helping us with that. And now, Layer 1 Solutions, your experts in business connectivity infrastructure, takes you around the herd.
Yeah, we are only at August 13th. We're very early on, but we've already got a lot to talk about, especially as it concerns men's soccer. So we're going to start there. Team captains have been named: Ryan Holmes, Ray Pinto, and Theo Goddard. have been named the captains, and they've already had not one but two exhibition games. So the first that was the fans' first night. Both of these were fans first, but the first fans' first night, we played Villanova, and we beat them 2-0. And then we followed up that game with another exhibition a few days later against Radford, where we beat them 4-0. And I was unable, unfortunately, I was not able to go to either of those exhibitions. I had some things going on, and they didn't stream them or anything like that because they were exhibitions. But there's, I think, some positives and takeaways. Thoughts on those games and those captains?
Yeah, same with me. I was out of the state for a end of summer trip with my family, take the kids to the zoo, the children's museum, and all that before school started back. So I was not here on Saturday, but it was something that Coach Grassi echoed on that interview that I had with him today. What I saw on social media, Tyler Kennett from the Herald Dispatch commented on it, just how many people showed up for that Saturday match against Villanova. And you're talking about an exhibition, and yeah, it was free to get in, but it was almost as packed as it would be for a regular season game there. And he said that the team just fed on that. The team like got to see like, hey, this is how it's going to be when they were playing here for their first game. And we just dominated all aspects of that match. 2-0 tells part of the story when you start going and looking at shots on goal, corners, how many or few, I should say, shots that Villanova had. It just seems like total domination from start to finish. And then that Radford game, it was a modified thing. They did 30-minute halves because of the heat index there Monday. And it was just more of the same, just smothering defense. It was, scoring at will in the second half. I think the first 30 minutes, I think it was tied at 0. But second half, it was just once they turned it on, the floodgates opened.
And I think you're going to see that as the season goes on. Is we've got the defense in place. You looked at I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the shots on goal and things like that, that's going to start coming together. Typical Grassi style. It's those as they start to mesh and work together. Yeah, you're going to see a lot of those. I think you're going to see more hit the back of the net. So I know, and this happened last year. I think we struggled a little bit on offense, but as the year went on, we became more complete in our game. And again, you've got arguably the best coach in college soccer, coaching your team. I think we're going to be all right.
I think one of the stats that I saw, and I hope that I'm not messing this up and I don't have it in front of me, but I thought in the 2 exhibition games we had 19 corners or something something absurd, it seems like it was 10 in one game, 9 in the other. Maybe it was 9 overall or 10 overall, and I'm confusing this, but we had way more shots on goal. We had way more corners. Basically we just controlled the entire game. And, I know it was Radford in that second game, and I know it was modified to 30-minute halves, but wow.
Yeah.
Villanova's no slouch, and, we dominated that and everything. But yeah, and then, as anyone that has watched that interview already knows, Coach Grassi was on the bus on the way to the game that they're at right now, and that's Maryland, and that'll be Friday at 7:30 p.m. So make sure to tune in on ESPN Plus to watch that.
Yeah, excited to get the season started there. Keeping it with soccer, we're going to talk about women's soccer. Team captains have been named for them as well. We've got Leah Mish, Louisa Travasos, and Keja Ekstrom. If I pronounced that wrong, I do apologize. They also were part of that fans first exhibition game. And what I did not know until I listened to the interview was that was going to be the only back-to-back series with men's and men's, which is a little disappointed. Been cool to have a couple of those, but fans got to experience both. They just destroyed U-Pike 9-0 in their exhibition game. And then they will open up the season at Morehead State on Thursday at 7 p.m. So thoughts on that U-Pike? I didn't get to go to that game, but thoughts.
It was that Saturday. I was gone, and you were unable to go, like we already said. And yeah, they had the party on the plaza in between the men's game and the women's game and everything. The women went first, and what a warm up! 9 goals. I mean, it was. I was following along. I think it was Tyler Kennett that I was reading on that, and I'm at the Children's Museum, on Saturday, and I'm following along as I could in between stops at the different things, and I would just see the score just keep ticking up.
Right.
But yeah, if that doesn't bode well, again, we know it's U-Pike, it's not Sun Belt Conference level, but that has to be something. I mean, you still have to score 9 times.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter who it's against. But then again, you already mentioned that they're opening up. As you watch this we're recording late Saturday or late Wednesday. This will upload Thursday. So tonight, as you watch this, make sure that you are tuning in 7 p.m. ESPN Plus for the Morehead State game. And if anybody's around in the area, Morehead State's an hour from Huntington. It'd be really good to pack up and go down there. Some of you may live closer to there. But if you're in the Grayson Olive Hill area, it's not that far down the road. You might even live in Morehead. Go over and support the squad.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to move over onto volleyball, and I know soccer's gotten a lot of love, but now volleyball's it's their turn to start firing things up, and that's going to be starting on Saturday at 11 a.m. is the green and white game.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is a fans first event. That is not $2, not $5. It's free for all fans. So Saturday 11, come down to the cam and bring your families, and hey, free admission. Watch some volleyball.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun time. They've got the music playing and everything. It's a inter squad scrimmage basically that they're doing, and just makes you get into that mode of I need to be here more often. Every time that I'm there, I'm like, we always take the kids, and both of the girls love volleyball, and my oldest went to the camps a few years, so they're there, and you just see how much fun they're having. Go sit pretty much wherever you want, and it's a good time. Make sure you're over there. If you're downtown, don't have much to do, Italian Fest is sometime that day, but to do a little free event before you go to Italian Fest that's not out in the sun, go over and watch herd volleyball.
Yeah. See, it's like we've talked about before, Russ. We're getting ready to swing into the meat and potatoes of it all, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity to support a lot of our different athletes. So don't miss that opportunity. We're going to jump on over to men's basketball. We talked about both men's and women's getting their schedules released, but men's basketball has actually picked up a couple of commits. The first commit was from the JUCO ranks from Cali College, 6'6" combo guard Shamari Hughie, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then we also picked up a commit from Landon Joseph, 6'3" combo guard from Northeast High School, which is DNA Prep Academy. So we got two players there.
Yeah, and I'm not real clear. They had both listed, Northeast High School and DNA Prep Academy. I don't know if he went to one and then his senior year went somewhere else, or post grad high school went to DNA Prep Academy, or if that was an AAU squad. I'm not familiar, but if you're looking him up, you can look up Northeast High School or DNA Prep Academy. 6'3" guard. Some of the things I read about him was that he's good at creating his shots. 6'6" combo guard out of JUCO, already had some collegiate stats you could check out. Scored about 14 and a half a game, but also had some rebounds and assists. Looks like he's one of those jack of all trades that'll help us, at least in the very least, with some depth at the guard, with some size at 6'6" at guard.
Yeah, that's a good pickup. Well, Russ, that wraps up our Around the Herd segment, brought to you by Layer One Solutions.
Yeah, can't thank Layer One Solutions enough. Cannot thank ignite.link enough. Cannot thank Layer. I'll get it right here in a minute. Leasure Oliver PLLC enough. Without our sponsors, we would not be able to bring you all that we are able to do. Equipment costs money. Things that we do the ticket giveaways cost money, and the tailgates that we do that are free cost money, and our sponsors make it to where it doesn't cost anything for our listeners. It doesn't cost anything for our viewers, any of our fans that participate in any of the things that we do. So please, as they have shown us the love, please show them the love back. If you have any use for Layer One Solutions or ignite.link, you're looking at the guy on the screen there, Jed Horton, can help you out with that. And then if you ever get in any kind of car accident whatsoever, I can tell you from experience, you do not want to deal with the insurance companies alone. They are set to give you the least amount of money possible. That is their job, is to give you the least amount of money possible, lower than what you are entitled to, lower than what you need sometimes to come out when it's not your fault, just even, to get your car back if your car has been totaled. You don't want to be the victim of an accident and then be the victim of an insurance company that does not give you enough money to pay your medical bills and get you your vehicle back. So please reach out to Leasure Oliver PLLC if you are ever in that sort of situation. Jed, that does it for another week. You know how busy it is that we talked about. I just had the Grassy episode is up. KD did the Rafa Samos episode. That is up. KD and I will be putting up this Friday at 8 a.m. the last in our position group breakdown series. And we're talking about the quarterbacks. So we got a lot going on, and even more the next 2 weeks after that as we lead up to that first game of football. But for now, whether you see us at the Jack, whether you see us at the Joan, whether you see us at the Dot, no matter where you see us, we're going to be saying, go Herd. It's the Thundercast. We'll see you later.
Go Herd.